Hi everyone, my name is Madhyardi Widana Arta with student number 240-553-1081, and in this video I will tell you about metal casting, design, materials, and economics, which in book Manufacturing, Engineering, and Technology, Chapter 12. First, the introduction. The main points of this chapter are: casting requires controlling many variables: metal behavior, flow, cooling rate, mold design, and gas generated. And this chapter explains design guidelines, common casting defects, characteristics of casting alloys, and economic aspect. And in real life example, when producing a car engine block, engineers must control cooling rate and molten metal flow to prevent cracks and porosity. Next, we have the design consideration in casting. First are general design considerations for casting. The key principles are: avoid sharp corners and sudden thickness change. Use fillets to reduce stress concentrations. After that, maintain uniform wall thickness to prevent hot spots and string-edge cavities. Large flat surface should be avoided because they tend to warp, and ribs and gussets are used to strengthen areas and reduce warping. Allowance must be made for string-edge during solidification. Provide draft angles like 0.5 degrees until 2 degrees for easy pattern removal. In real life example, washing machines housings are designed with smooth radii instead of sharp corners to avoid internal stress during cooling. In this figure 12.1, there are suggested design modifications to avoid defects in castings. Next are the examples of design showing the importance of maintaining uniform cross-sections in castings to avoid hot spots and string-edge cavities. Next, we have design for expandable mold casting. The key points of this point are: proper mold layout is essential. Solidification should progress uniformly. Correct design and placement of risers ensure molten metal compensates for string edge. Patterns require machining allowance 2 until 5 mm for small castings and more than 25 mm for large castings. Patterns must incorporate string edge allowance in 10 until 20 mm per meter. In real-life example, in bronze statue castings, large risers are often added to fit thick areas and prevent string-edge holes. Next, design for permanent mold casting. Requires draft angles in 0.25 degrees until 0.5 degrees to prevent galling in die casting. Produce near net shape parts. Machining is minimal. Gates and runners must be designed so molten metal flows smoothly. In real life example, zinc door handles produced by die casting come out with very smooth surface and require minimal finishing. Next is computer modeling of casting process. The simulation tools like Magmasoft and ProCast predict molten metal flow, heat transfer, and solidification. It helps identify potential defects like hot spots, porosity, and incomplete filling. Improves productivity and reduces production costs. In real-life example, aerospace turbine blade manufacturers use casting simulation to avoid internal porosity that could cause failure at high temperature. Next, we have the casting alloys. In general overview of these points are many ferrous and non-ferrous alloys are used like gray iron, ductile iron, aluminium, zinc, copper, magnesium, and nickel. The important properties are castability, machinability, weldability, and mechanical strength. In non-ferrous casting alloys, there are aluminium alloys. It lightweight, strong, excellent corrosion resistance, widely used for automotive and aerospace parts. Next is magnesium alloys. Very light, good for components where weight reduction is critical. These are the figure of mechanical properties for various groups of cast alloys. For note that even within the same group, the properties vary over a wide range, particularly for cast steels. Next, in table 12.2, there are typical applications for casting and casting characteristics. In table 12.3, there are properties and typical applications of cast iron. In table 12.4, there are mechanical properties of gray cast irons. Table 12.5 is the table of properties and typical applications of non-ferrous cast alloys. Next, we have the non-ferrous casting alloys. First, we have copper-based alloys. Excellent thermal and electrical conductivity used in plumbing and electrical components. Next, we have the nickel-based alloys. It high temperature resistance and used in gas turbine engines. For real-life example is aluminium alloy wheels, magnesium laptop frames, and copper plumbing fittings. Ferrous casting alloys like gray iron is excellent damping capacity used for machine base. Ductile iron, good toughness and elongation used for pipes and automotive suspension parts. Malleable iron, good shock resistance used in hardware components. Cast steel is high strength used in construction equipment, valves, and mining tools. For the real-life example, gray iron engine blocks and ductile iron crankshaft. Next is the economics of casting. What is the point of this economics of castings? Is cost per part depends on material, labor, tooling, and equipment. Permanent mold and die casting dies are expensive but suitable for high volume production. Sand casting is cheaper and ideal for low volume or large parts. The additional costs include melting, pouring, cleaning, inspection, and heat treatment. And the automation reduces labor costs but requires high initial investment. For real-life example is die casting is chosen for making millions of smartphone frame parts, while sand casting is used for custom machine-based produced in small quantities. These are the table of general cost characteristics of casting process. Well, that's all from me. Thank you for watching.